Welcome to today's case breakdown. We're diving into a courtroom drama where Darlene Gonzalez faces charges for the unauthorized use of a vehicle, a state jail felony. Now, at first glance, this may sound like just another case, but the twists and turns, especially when we look at the plea bargain and deferred adjudication, are anything but simple. Gonzalez is looking at a potential 2 years in a state jail facility, but there's hope for a lighter sentence depending on how the judge sees her actions. But there's more. We're about to hear some truly surprising revelations about her living situation, her relationships, and her financial struggles. Is she guilty of the crime? Or is there more to this than meets the eye? Stick around because this one's got layers, and you won't want to miss the shocking moments ahead.
Court is calling 2025 CR 007801, State versus Darlene Gonzalez. Can I have parties announced for the record? State.
Honor, good morning. Frankie Sandoval on behalf of Ms. Gonzalez.
And are you Ms. Gonzalez?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, have you received all discovery? Did you review it with your client?
We have, Judge.
Are there any applications in this case?
Your Honor, you know what? There's an application for deferred, which I do not believe may be part of what's presented to the court. We may present that after we do the plea.
All right.
All right, before we get into the drama, let's break this down. Darlene has requested deferred adjudication, basically, a second chance. This is a legal option where, if she completes her probation successfully, the case won't result in a conviction on her record. But, if she messes up, she could face the full sentence. The judge has to decide whether to grant it, and it all depends on her behavior and how she handles the terms laid out. But let's not get ahead of ourselves, because the judge has already dropped some hints about the severity of the situation.
And is it an application for deferred?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. Ms. Gonzalez, do you want the court to consider an application for deferred adjudication in this case? All right. Have you reviewed the true bill of indictment with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, do you waive the reading of the indictment?
We do, Judge.
State, are you proceeding on the indictment as presented?
Yes, Your Honor.
Ms. Gonzalez, did you review the court admonishments with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you understand you're charged with unauthorized use of a vehicle? That's a state jail felony. Range of punishment is anywhere from 180 days up to 2 years in the state jail facility and up to a $10,000 fine.
Yes,
If you have a plea bargain agreement with the state, the court does not have to follow your plea. If for any reason the court does not follow your plea and gives you more than you bargained for, the fact that you entered a plea will not be used against you and you will be allowed to withdraw your plea. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
You have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call in the right to remain silent. By entering this plea, you're giving up those rights. Did you intend to give up those rights and enter into a plea in this case?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand if the court were to grant your application for deferred adjudication, if for any reason your deferred adjudication were revoked, the court could find you guilty and sentence you up to 2 years in the state jail facility and up to a $10,000 fine? Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, has your client been able to provide you with any defenses?
She is, Judge.
Do you believe she has a rational as well as a factual understanding of the charges against her?
In my opinion, yes.
Do you believe she's currently competent and was legally sane at the time of the offense?
Yes, Judge.
Ms. Gonzalez, has anyone threatened you, coerced you, or placed you in fear to get you to enter this plea? Anyone promised you anything other than the plea?
No, ma'am.
Are you satisfied with the way you've been represented?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you a U.S. citizen?
Yes, ma'am.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived her right to jury trial. Did you review the plea bargain page with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
According to the plea, punishment is to be assessed at a $1,000 fine. State recommends deferred adjudication. Did you understand that to be the plea?
Yes, ma'am.
Defense?
Yes, Judge.
State?
Yes, sir.
Did you review the waiver of appeal paragraph with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it in both places?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand by signing that you're waiving your right to appeal? The only items that can be appealed are written pretrial motions that have been filed, heard, and ruled upon by the court. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, are there any such motions?
There are not, Judge.
Outside the agreement, the state is requesting that your community supervision be for a term of 4 years. There be a TAP evaluation, 200 hours of community service restitution. Did you understand those were recommendations from the state and the court does not have to follow those recommendations?
Yes, ma'am.
Then to the offenses charged, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
No contest.
This moment is critical. Gonzalez is entering her plea, but let's stop and really think about what she's facing. A $1,000 fine, probation, 200 hours of community service, and 4 years of deferred adjudication. Now, that's a lot of pressure on someone who's already dealing with personal hardships. The weight of those consequences could change her life forever. But hold up, things are about to get a whole lot more complicated when the defense reveals her living situation. Are you ready for this?
State any evidence.
Yes, Your Honor. State offers State's Exhibit 1 and all attachments.
No objection, Judge.
State, you may be excused. Did you review the waiver and stipulations with your attorney?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand it and sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, ma'am.
Again, did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call, and the right to remain silent?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand that today the state will be presenting evidence in the form of witnesses' statements and police reports, but most importantly, there'll be no live testimony? Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived and consented to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Court will accept into evidence State's Exhibits 1 and attachments and review the same. After reviewing State's Exhibits 1 and attachments, the court will find there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty. The court will defer finding of guilt as you've applied for deferred adjudication. Are you proceeding with sentencing?
Your Honor, in the interest of justice, we would ask.
Anything you wish to say on behalf of your client?
Your Honor, Ms. Gonzalez presents herself here accepting responsibility and just wanting to start the process of putting this behind her.
All right, who is Kenneth Ray Jackson?
Kenneth Ray Jackson is a friend of mine.
All right, not your boyfriend?
No, he's not my boyfriend.
You don't have any children together?
No.
This is where the plot thickens. Darlene's living with her mom, and she admits she hasn't been employed for a year. But here's where things get tricky. She's relying on her boyfriend to cover her living expenses. Wait, so she's driving around in a U-Haul with a friend, Kenneth Ray Jackson. This is where things get murky. Was she really just helping him move, or is there more to this situation? Are there financial red flags here that point to something bigger?
You don't live together?
No.
Do you have any children?
No, I don't.
All right, who do you live with?
Me, I live with my mom.
And when's the last time you had employment?
A year maybe. About
Okay.
a year.
Why?
Honestly, I don't have a reason really. It's I help my mom connect. She's sick. She has kidney problems. And
All right, that's not employment. Yeah.
But yeah, like, I mean, I'm just constantly busy watching her.
So how are you all able to pay for house, the utilities and everything?
Well, my boyfriend pays everything for me.
Who is your
right now.
boyfriend?
Terry Jones.
And why were you driving a U-Haul with this friend?
With Terry Jones, I was not driving.
No, I mean, I'm talking about the other guy, Jackson.
Well, honest, that U-Haul that we're driving, it wasn't. It was paid for by a friend of.
No. I'm asking, why were you in a U-Haul with this Jackson person if you have a boyfriend that you say pays for everything?
He was just a friend, and he was just helping me. Like,
Helping you do what?
We're helping move and stuff
With what?
with the U-Haul.
This moment hits hard. You can hear the emotional toll of everything Darlene is going through, helping her sick mom, trying to keep it all together, and dealing with the legal consequences. The court is clearly trying to guide her toward personal responsibilities, especially the job requirements. But let's be real here. Is it fair to expect someone who's been out of the workforce for so long to suddenly pull everything together, especially with the court breathing down her neck? It's a tough spot. What do you think? Should the judge show more leniency here?
No, I mean, why do you have a U-Haul? That's what I'm trying to understand.
How to move things around in our storage, like move from a storage to another storage, because we had to have our storage. I think out of our storage to another storage out.
I'm sorry, what?
We're moving from one storage to another storage.
Okay. Okay. All right. So this is what the court is going to do. There's $1,000 fine. That will be probated. There's to be regular reporting by Zoom or in person, regular random UAs, proof of employment within 40 days. There's to be no employment as a home health care provider or with minors. You're going to have to get a job.
Okay.
Field visits one time per month until further notice. 200 hours of community service restitution. 100 of those hours will be deducted upon completion of a theft course. Is there any issues with you with drug use?
No.
There's to be no contact with Kenneth Ray Jackson.
And here it is, the moment of truth. The court hands down its sentence. The judge lays out probation, terms regular reporting, drug testing, and no contact with Kenneth Ray Jackson. The big one, a 4-year deferred adjudication sentence. It's a lot to take in, but the judge clearly wants Darlene to take responsibility and prove she can make better choices moving forward. A $1,000 fine is just the start, and she'll need to stay clean and find employment if she's going to get through this without a criminal conviction on her record. How do you feel about this outcome? Was it too lenient, or did the judge make the right call?
Probation, is there anything else? Oh, I'm sorry, 4 years deferred adjudication.
Or do you want her to report to?
Where does she live? All right, how far is New Braunfels?
It's just like 45 minutes.
And is your mother living in New Braunfels?
Yes.
All right, Miss Abrams, is it possible to get field visits in New Braunfels by that probation office?
Like,
And what county is New Braunfels?
wow.
Do you want your probation transferred to Comal County?
No, it'll be fine here.
All right, she does not want it transferred.
Okay.
All right, is there anything else, probation?
No, ma'am.
Is there anything else you need from the court in order to be successful? All right, did you review the document entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it?
Yes.
Because it's plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waived your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Do you understand? All right, we can go off the record. So here's the thing. How old are you?
I'm 32.
All right, so you're too old for this, to be doing this type of thing, and you're too old not to have employment. All right? So it's okay for you to help your mom, but helping your mom should not be you're bringing your boyfriend to live with you all. That's a no-no, because that's your mom's house, not yours. So you need to get employment so you can support yourself. You understand?
Yep.
All right, good luck to you.
Okay, thank you, Judge.
Thank you.
Now we shift gears to a different kind of courtroom drama. Ambrosio Caba, a 22-year-old man, is facing charges related to possessing explicit materials involving children. This case isn't just about the law, it's about the heavy emotional toll that comes with crimes of this nature. We'll see a young man who's deeply remorseful but is also dealing with serious issues of his own. He's seeking probation over prison time, but is that really enough? The prosecutor is pushing for the maximum sentence, while the defense argues for leniency. This is a case where sympathy and justice collide in a complicated way. Stick around, because the emotional depth and legal complexity are about to hit a boiling point.
Can you raise your right hand for me, please? Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, you can lower your hand, state your name for the record.
Ambrosio Cabrera.
All right, defense, you may proceed.
Ambrosio, if you graduated high school, is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. And where did you used to work?
Right before my arrest, I worked at a place called Baird Foundation Repair,
And what
but I
kind-
had some other jobs for that.
And had you ever had trouble finding a job before that?
There have been instances, but but I got a job at the end of it.
I think in the PSI, there's a reference to the officer who did your interview asking why you hadn't sought any kind of treatment. And you and I talked about that. What would you like the judge to know about why that hadn't commenced or why you hadn't received that?
Judge, when the probation officer asked me why I hadn't received treatment, I told him that treatment, psychiatric help costs money, and ashamed as I am, I was afraid to even leave my house to go to the front yard to even take out the trash. And
Why? Well, tell the judge why you felt that was.
I was ashamed, ashamed for my actions, and my neighbors, they saw everything. They saw that my house was, they did, I had a search warrant for my house, and I was ashamed to have my neighbors see them. But regarding not getting treatment costs money, and it's even harder for me to even ask for a job.
Oh, that because you know they're going to see your background. Is that what you know?
That they would see my background from the background check, that afraid for my safety, that perhaps coworkers might find out about my charges. And I would say that if I wish that I had hope that I can have counseling to ask about things regarding getting a job.
And you agree that you should have some counseling?
Yes.
Now you never had an inappropriate relationship, did you?
No, sir.
Okay, so you just possessed images,
Yes, sir.
and have you had an adult relationship?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Alright, let's clear something up here. Kaba is not accused of physically abusing children, but possessing and viewing explicit material involving minors. A crucial distinction in legal terms. But let's not minimize if this is still a horrific crime that causes real harm to the victims, even if they're not in the courtroom. The defense is trying to paint Kaba as a young man who made a mistake, someone who is willing to take responsibility, but does that excuse the severity of his actions? Let's keep that in mind as we hear more from both sides.
And is that still ongoing or
No, sir.
right now? You're willing to abide by anything the judge would require of you if she were to grant you probation?
Yes.
Well, you understand that you would have to register annually?
Yes, sir.
And do you have anything else that you'd like the judge to know before she decides what to do?
Judge, I'm so sorry. I wish that I could change my time. I'm ready to accept the consequences.
Nothing further, Judge.
All right, any questions?
Okay, great, Judge. Mr. Cabrera, do you understand that the children in these videos are victims who are being sexually abused when the content is made?
Yes.
You understand that every time you view, download, or share those videos, that child is being re-victimized?
Kaba opens up about his struggles with shame, fear of social stigma, and the financial barrier to getting the mental health treatment he needs. This is raw and emotional. Kaba admits he feels like an outcast, isolated from society, and even afraid to leave his house. But is that a valid excuse for the crime? He's clearly remorseful, but does that mean he should get a lighter sentence? It's a tough call. We need to consider the victims in all of this, but how much weight should be given to the defendant's mental health and personal history? This is the crossroads where emotion and justice collide.
Judge, there's no evidence of any sharing.
Sister?
Your Honor, this originates from a NCMEC report where it was uploaded to Snapchat, Your Honor, so.
All right, the objection will be operable. All right. Any further questions? And how old are you?
22, Your Honor.
All right. All right. Any argument?
Judge, Mr. Cabrera is a young man now. He was even younger a couple of years ago when this came to pass. And I think he's a person who, if you've read I know you have read the PSI, readily admitted his responsibility, came forth and readily accepted responsibility when he was given that opportunity. He waived indictment. He came to court. He took his pleas. He showed up here today, despite knowing that he might go into custody. I think he is not a hardened criminal. He has zero criminal history other than this one case. And I don't think prison is an appropriate environment for him, and it might be actually a dangerous environment for him. So we would ask the court to consider, based on all the circumstances and the lack of history, that we grant him deferred and give him whatever conditions the court finds appropriate.
Now, the state comes in swinging, emphasizing the severity of Kaba's actions. Let's not sugarcoat it. These are real victims. Every time Kaba viewed or downloaded that material, another child was re-victimized. And yes, Kaba didn't create the content, but he's still contributing to its perpetuation. The state's position is clear. They're not asking for leniency here. They're calling for the maximum sentence to send a message. The question is, should the court follow that recommendation, or does Kaba's age and lack of criminal history play a role in his fate?
Here it comes. State.
Judge, while this defendant may take responsibility to enter a waiver plea on this case, that waiver plea wasn't something that he just entered, letting the court punish him to the maximum with the state charging the most thing. It was a bargain between the state. We waived certain counts, we waived certain enhancements, and he entered into a plea that he thought was in the best interest of him in this case, that we all agreed was a good option. However, that plea is not for him to be agreed on probation. It's an opposed verb. Now it's deferred, not probation. I should be clear on that. The content in this, we have videos of children, a video of a child under the age of 10 being sexually abused. We have images of children being sexually abused, as well as images of them nude. These children are actual victims. Just because I don't know them, just because they're not here in this courtroom, they're actual victims. This defendant participated in their victimization by viewing, downloading, etc. this material. It's a serious crime. Just because it's his first crime doesn't mean it's not a serious crime. Just because he's not physically abusing these kids himself doesn't mean he's not victimizing them. So given the severity of the crime, given the severity of the content, and given the danger.
The defense team makes an emotional appeal, arguing that prison might not be the right environment for Kaba, who's essentially a first-time offender. His defense attorney paints him as a young man who's learned his lesson, is ready to make amends, and seeks the treatment he desperately needs. So, is prison really the best option here? Or would a probationary sentence with strict conditions do more to help him? It's an interesting question, and one that could drastically change his life.
That it poses to the community that if he's looking at this material online, what he could do in the future. I would ask the court to follow the agreement. I would ask the court to sentence him to the maximum under the plea agreement of 10 years.
Judge, may I respond briefly?
Yes.
There's no evidence at all that Mr. Cabrera believed that anything other than these children were victims and taking responsibility for that. Everything that the state has pointed out to me, is all the more reason why he needs to get the treatment that he provided under supervision of this court. And as you know, under supervision of this court, he would not be allowed to be freewheeling on the internet anyway. So we would again ask the court to grant him deferred, give him the treatment that he needs and any other appropriate conditions that he deem necessary.
All right. So I've heard the argument of your counsel, listened to witnesses, and I take everything under advisement. I'm taking your age under advisement. What the court is going to do, the court will find you guilty. The state is asking for 10 years. Counsel, do you want to address that?
Grant him probation, I would certainly ask for something closer to the minimum. Happy to give him the absence of any other previous problems and not trying to discount what he did. I still think that 10 is more than necessary.
All right, and state, I know you're asking for 10.
And now, the final decision. The judge sentences Kaba to 8 years in prison, along with the requirement to register annually under sex offender laws. This is a tough sentence, and it shows the gravity of the crime. While the defense hoped for a lighter punishment, the court clearly believes the seriousness of the offense outweighs Kaba's potential for rehabilitation. But what does this mean for Kaba's future? A prison sentence for someone so young is undoubtedly but was it the right decision?
All right, the court is going to sentence you to 8 years in the prison, give you credit for any time served, and there's to be Chapter 62 registration. All right, thank you.
Thank you, Judge.
Oh, I'm sorry. Did you review the trial court certification of defendant's rights to appeal with your attorney?
I haven't opened it, but, I will. Okay.
All right, it's telling you whether or not you have a right to appeal. Because this is a plea bargain agreement, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. And because you've waived your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Because this is a felony conviction, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. If you have a question over what that is, you'll need to speak to an attorney. Do you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, good luck to you, okay?
And that's a wrap on both of today's cases. Darlene Gonzalez, who faced a state jail felony charge, got a second chance with a deferred adjudication sentence, while Ambrosio Kaba, a young man convicted for possessing child exploitation material, was sentenced to 8 years in prison. Both cases involve tough decisions, weighing personal circumstances against the severity of the crimes. It's a reminder that the law is never black and white, it's full of nuance and difficult choices. If you found these cases as shocking, as we did, make sure to hit that like button, share your thoughts in the comments. And don't forget to subscribe for more jaw-dropping courtroom breakdowns.